yeah. All right. So here we go. This week we're going to talk about handstand walk. So last week we talked about how to get really proficient at handstand holds, building towards being able to be really good at handstand holds in free space, in open space where there's no assistance, and how important that is to become really good at handstand walks. Because if you can get solid at freestanding handstands, and then walking in your hands becomes a natural progression, becomes easy almost at that point. So now we're going to talk about how to distribute weight from hand to hand or shoulder to shoulder. But again, I would go back to the other video if you aren't super proficient there yet. Once you get dialed in, here are the next steps. So Wes is going to take us through a few drills. I would caution, or I guess recommend saying that start out the basics. Don't immediately jump to the hardest progression because it looks the coolest. Start out with the basics and then build only with once you are proficient at the one-on-one. Cool?
Absolutely. So even if you're practicing these, right, warm up with each progression that I show today. Don't go all willy-nilly into the last one and then fall on your head, right? So make sure you're warming up your shoulders, getting ready for this. Now, what Chad is going to do is he's going to find himself in a pike position, right? And these are the same things that we've always talked about when we get inverted. He's going to be slightly looking through his eyebrows. Notice his finger position too. Now, when we start to do weight transfer drills, it's even more important now that we start to be able to control our body weight through our fingers. So what we don't want to see, Chad, could you demonstrate bad finger position? I don't want the fingers out to the side. We want to compare this to our feet. Our feet have a lot of control of our balance. Our hands can do the same thing when we get inverted. So when he's starting to transfer, you're not going to see a huge bend of the elbow. He's literally going to shift weight. If he were to freeze frame in one side, he would have control of that position because he has balance there. So that's what we want to start to see in those inverted positions. He did lovely there.
I feel like I was there for like 20 minutes.
It was a long time. So once we feel very comfortable with our hand position and that weight transfer, the next step of this would be to go wall facing. And you can get up however you'd like. This is the fancy way of doing it. And we still want our feet together. We still want to keep that really tight position. Only thing touching the wall is our feet. Same hand position, and we can start to shift. Now, it's not uncommon when we start to shift on the wall to see our feet get a little bit wider, right? We can control ourselves a little bit more. I don't and still encourage that because we want now, when we do assisted with a friend, to have that straight leg position. So don't get in the habit of doing that there. Try to fight for a good weight transfer with the legs still together and connected. Last piece before we actually go to the wall by ourselves would be grab a buddy. And now we're going to essentially start to walk as much as we can. Now, we still want to have that balance. As he kicks up, you're going to see the slight lean of his body. His body is going to be leading. He's not going to be leading with his hands as he goes through this, right? So there's almost this falling effect. And now that weight transfer that we've been practicing through these last two drills takes effect. And we're slowly going forward, but in the same way that we did both on the wall and walk. So he's a kick up. I'm there just for him to start to find that balance. And he's transferring, and he's walking. If he started to fall back and we didn't want him to stop yet, I can help him both sides of that, right? I'm going to create this pocket with my hands. But obviously Chad is very good at this, so he didn't need a whole lot of help. Once you start to feel comfortable with this, and maybe you don't have a partner with you, what we can then do is start to go to the wall by yourselves, and you might not start very far away, right? You might start a foot or 2 feet away and get one walk in before you're at the wall. But a safe way to approach it, right? After you get some comfortability there, we're going to get further and further away, and we're going to walk. When we find the wall, we know that's our stopping point, and we are good to go there. So those are the progressions that we're encouraging you guys to do for your homework this week. Chad, do you have anything to add?
I just would again recommend going back to the basics, right? And so there's some things we didn't touch on today that we touched on last time about body positioning and staying tight and lengthening your body, sinking down into the shoulders instead of extending. Remember the basics, remember the one-on-one, those are still applicable here. Give them a shot, guys. Again, consistency is key, so do these consistently and you will see progress. Until next time, guys. See you later.
America.
America.